Well, it happened. I didn't think that we were going to get a Nintendo Direct this month, and right when I start losing hope, Nintendo decides to announce one for, at the time of this recording, tomorrow. You're probably going to be seeing this video the day of the Direct, though. But yeah, they just announced on Twitter today at 10 a.m. Central Time that there is a Nintendo Direct going up on Thursday the 23rd. 40 minutes long, focusing primarily on the end of the year, but that's pretty long for just focusing on the end of the year. So I think we're definitely in for some crazy, wild surprises. Definitely going to delve into some 2022 games. There's no way that they're not going to. And yeah, so let's just get into it and talk about what we could expect at this Direct. So, addressing the elephant in the room right away, we gotta talk about Smash. Originally, I was thinking it's way too soon for them to do a Smash reveal. I feel like they'd save it for the Game Awards, but with this Direct being 40 minutes long, it feels like they're packing a lot into it, and one of those things could be the final Smash character. Now, with that being said, if it's not at the Game Awards, I'm kind of thinking that it's going to be more of a safe prediction. Something like a first-party character, ideally a Pokemon. I say ideally, it's not really what I want, but it feels like a safe bet for Nintendo. Now, what I would want it to be is either Rayman or Doomguy. Those are like my two front runners for kind of likely-ish third parties. They're sort of bandwagon characters, but I love both of them, so I don't really care. Now, as for if we were going in a different direction and we want to do more of a pipe dream, wild prediction, honestly, I think that there's potential for Frisk from Undertale or even Chris from Deltarune being the final character. And I could see it easily leading into an announcement of Deltarune Chapter 2 being on the Switch following the Direct. It just feels like Sans was kind of added late in the game when Sakurai had already finalized Fighter Pass 1. And I'm kind of thinking that that's why they held off Spirits, is that they were waiting for an Undertale rep in the second Fighter Pass. That's probably reaching, but it would be crazy if Undertale or Deltarune got a full fighter as representation in the game. So, now that we've gotten Smash out of the way, let's talk about what we can kind of expect for sure to be in this Direct. So if they're focusing on the end of 2021, I think that a final push for Metroid Dread is a given. They have been promoting the hell out of this game on Twitter. Like nearly every single day there's a new blog post about Metroid Dread. And I'm not complaining because it's been forever since we've gotten a new 2D Metroid, and for them to actually be actively promoting it, it's a nice surprise to see from Nintendo. Now, besides Metroid Dread, I think we could get another quick push for SMT5. I don't think they delve too much into it, but definitely maybe another overview trailer. Another big game that they're probably going to talk about is Advance Wars. That's kind of the game for the end of this year that I think they're going to talk about the most, because besides the trailer, we only got a little bit of Treehouse footage, and I think that they might want to go over kind of the quality of life features for Advance Wars Reboot Camp, mostly because this is a full AAA priced game. This isn't just a standard like $20 title on the eShop. Like, no, this is a full $60 AAA title. So I feel like they're going to want to promote that a little bit more, make sure that people buy it for the holiday season. And then finally, something that I don't think we're going to see in the Direct, I don't think we're going to get any mention of Pokemon. Whether that's the remakes or Legends Arceus, I just don't think that Pokemon is going to have a presence in this showcase. If anything, we'll probably get another Pokemon Presents closer to the release of the remakes or Legends Arceus. But other than that, I don't think that Nintendo is going to have it in their own showcase. Besides general Switch titles, I think that we're going to get an update to Nintendo Switch's online service. And I think that'll come in the form of Game Boy, Game Boy Color, maybe even Game Boy Advance games coming to the service. it feels like the next natural step, and a lot of people have been asking for it. They've been talking about it. Maybe this is potentially how we get Mother 3 in the West. I doubt it, but that'd be a really cool surprise from Nintendo to kind of kick off this direct with, because I feel like if they are updating the Nintendo Switch Online service, I feel like they're going to talk about that right away, delve into it a little bit before they kind of move on to 2022. And I say that because I think that whatever update to the service is coming, it's going to come this year. Like, it's going to come at the end of the holiday season. It's going to be kind of another incentive to buy into Nintendo Switch Online, because September, October for a lot of people was when they first bought into the service. So it's time for renewal, and what better way to get people to renew their subscription than to introduce a new game system to the online service. Moving on to 2022, I think that this is going to be a really big year for Nintendo. I mean, we already have 2 big titles confirmed for 2022, and it's just 2 games. We have no idea what Nintendo has up their sleeves. And speaking of those 2 titles, I can tell you one thing. I don't think that we're going to see Breath of the Wild 2 at this direct. I know that people want to see it. I know that from what they showed at E3, it looked like they at least have something ready to show, but it feels a little bit too soon. This feels like something that Nintendo is going to want to show in its own presentation, especially considering the fact that the first Breath of the Wild was Nintendo's bread and butter when the Switch came out, and they're going to want to capitalize on the sequel as much as they can. So we're going to see the sequel in due time, just not at this direct. Now, as for Splatoon 3, I think we're definitely going to see a lot from that game. We know pretty much nothing about gameplay, about the world, the story, any of the new weapons, the NPCs. Like, there's so little that we know about Splatoon 3, and I think that Nintendo is going to do a deep dive into this, because with Smash wrapping up at the end of this year, I feel like Nintendo's gonna want to push another sort of competitive multiplayer game out the door right away. And what better way to do that than to push Splatoon 3 out the door? Now, while we're on the topic of kind of those competitive multiplayer games, another game that I think we could potentially see in 2022 is ARMS 2. Now, I don't know if it's going to be at this direct, but I have a feeling that it's going to be coming in 2022, because we don't know what Ibuki has been doing with his team since the first ARMS game, and they have to have been working on something. Now, I might be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that Ibuki's team is also the Mario Kart development team. And I can't see us getting Mario Kart 9 just yet. So if that's the case, I think that ARMS 2 would be a perfect fit to be coming out this year. Like, this, as a lot of people have said, this could potentially be the year of sequels for a lot of big games that came out in 2017, 2018 for Nintendo. So yeah, ARMS 2 might not be super likely at this direct, but we still have a pretty decent chance of seeing it, in my opinion. Now, as for something that I think is very likely to see in this direct, I think we're going to hear something about Kirby. So Kirby's 30th anniversary is in 2022, and I feel like, if not Nintendo, HAL Laboratories has to have something big planned for the anniversary, because although Kirby is a Nintendo franchise, it's owned by HAL, in sort of the same way that Pokemon is owned by the Pokemon Company. HAL sort of kind of operates on their own schedule, and I think that if they wanted to push Kirby for his anniversary, they're going to push Kirby. And with that being said, I think it's finally time that we're going to get our big 3D Kirby game as a mainline title. Finally. It feels right. There have been things going around. There have been files that have been data mined hinting at it being in development, and I think that that would be a huge surprise to show off at this Direct, just out of nowhere, a fully 3D Kirby game. And that's really all I've got for first-party stuff in this Direct. Now, beyond that, I think that we're definitely going to see some big third-party ports, one of which is, well, three of which are the GTA Remastered Trilogy. That would be San Andreas, Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto 3. This has been a rumored trilogy that has been making the rounds on Twitter for a while now. Multiple gaming journalists have corroborated this. I'm pretty sure Jason Schreier commented on it, said that it was real. So that's something that we could definitely see. And that would be a huge thing for Nintendo because people have been wanting portable GTA since the Switch came out. So even though it's not 5, I think these games are well received enough where people would want to revisit remastered versions of them. Now, beyond that, I think we're definitely going to see some more cloud ports in the vein of Hitman 3 and Control, because from what I heard, when they worked pretty damn well, and I think that's something that people would definitely want to see in order to get some harder to run AAA titles running on the Switch. And then finally, I think that we could finally see the big rumored partnership between Microsoft and Nintendo. And I'm talking about xCloud and potentially Game Pass coming to the Switch. I think that it would launch most likely with the Master Chief Collection. That would be the huge incentive for people to subscribe to the service on the Switch. But that'd be a huge thing for both these companies, and it would really solidify their relationship because you'd have Xbox games on a Nintendo platform. That's huge, and I think that it would be a big moneymaker for both companies. So that's really all I've got for how this Direct is going to go. Well, actually, I've got one more thing. It wouldn't be a Nintendo Direct prediction video without one crazy out there prediction to end the Direct with. I think that it is finally time that we get a tease for Super Mario Odyssey 2. Odyssey 1 came out in 2017, and we really don't know what the 3D Mario team has been working on since then. And I think that Odyssey was such a well-received game that it would be stupid for them not to be working on a sequel. So it seems a little bit out there, but I could definitely see it being a possibility. If not Odyssey 2, I think the only other real big game that I could see them ending with is potentially a Mario Kart 9, if Yabuki's team isn't working on ARMS 2. Okay, now it really is the end of my prediction video. Now, I like to think that some of these predictions might come true, but a lot of them are just wishful thinking. In all honesty, as much as I do these predictions, it's much more fun to be surprised by what Nintendo actually has in store for us. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see, and it will not be a long wait. So anyway, that's enough out of me. If you guys like this video, consider leaving a like and maybe even subscribing to the channel, but no pressure. I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Later.